Thanks. As promised 2 years ago. You remember you owned it?
Yeah.
Twice 6 years.
Yeah, I did. I used it for a while.
Okay.
Hi.
Yeah, I suppose you have a certain point. You can use this for printing. It's whatever.
I don't know. I kind of got to the end of
Your project?
the end of my positive feelings about that program.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, when you really, I mean, when you build rooms and stuff,
Oh, really? Right?
as soon as you put the wall,
You're not
it's
otherwise
impossible to like throw
No,
in
I got hit in the
in
face
there
with the brain.
to continue doing detailed work.
Yes.
And
You get all trapped.
Well, I'm guessing.
the other thing is, I think you have to like
Well,
group
it's better than the last time I got it.
and lock it.
They heard that I got
Constantly. So that you can create objects without it.
I would imagine they're flying
To get
to
all
the
Yes.
The other thing.
Yeah.
And it just gets, I mean, it's so easy in the beginning, but the more you want to do, the more it's extra. So like the lures you hire, like ease of use. Like you can release that house with the walls. You actually. You now realize you can't push things down. You would have had to pull everything. I mean, it's just stuff like that when you get into it.
Yeah.
Realize, oh, it's at the beginning. It's literally like
So I'm and then see what it's like. You don't want to go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Just like you manage the project.
Those pizza there.
Talk about her experience as a working mother.
It's a nice space here.
So, yeah, we're going,
What, you told me they transitioned to another account. Oh, she asked. Her kids aren't old.
Yeah, she's awesome.
It's on your code or whatever. No.
Yeah, she's not good. Yeah, and do that. Oh, well, her son.
Except for that movie.
Yeah, for sure. We went to get one. Another thing.
What are we doing today?
A panel on site building stuff, like panel on site building, not site building stuff. Panel on site building. Basically, it'll be you'll be able to like ask some questions, but there'll be also just a person kind of helping moderate, helping people validate like some of their their thoughts or just kind of
Process.
yeah. We are going to try to not get too technical because of the time. We want to make sure that we kind of cover a lot of stuff, not a lot of stuff, but a lot of stuff that really resonates with people instead of bogging them down right now. So we're trying to see if we can make sure that we cater the panels a little bit better. The process, and then outside of that, the breakout groups and. What else was tonight? There was offhand. That's what I remember right now. I got to double check real quick. Sorry, I'm setting some new stuff up, so I'll get it going. Nah, I like it. I don't even think right. I'm not even thinking right. What was it doing? Yeah, that's what. Here we go.
Relocation, I think mostly around water. It can be good for a lot easier to build. Normally, you're used to driving everywhere. Now I see everything on here. So, the middle. I hope not. I travel almost all the states. One part of the state I haven't gotten to yet. That's the working experience. Oh, yeah. Very like more than centralized. Yeah, I haven't. It's very loud. My God.
Everything's on show.
What's on that list? Set our list from the meeting. List of objectives. Well, yeah, So are you going to have one menu that's all that stuff is, or is it going to be all of the site? And it just only shows that. It's just up everywhere. Yeah, you see it. Right. So the problem that you have there is it's educating people that there will be stuff there as opposed to creating a menu that's kind of my account. Because that's what we have the same issue where you have public content and private content. My decision was just to create a menu as my account where you do all your profile. That's when you see all the stuff that you want to see if you're a member. So everybody knows how to get there. Otherwise, it's a little bit like these because I found opportunity. I guess creating a site that normally or like I can't vote. Wow, I'm good. Now that works behind Royal Market it's on my site. You couldn't because they didn't realize you have to be logged in. Once you're logged in, because there's no placeholder that says you can only log in once you vote. The way we have it right now. No, No, absolutely. The problem is, it's the, do they know, and you'll be interesting to test the other one. To see, do people, because that's what Drupal works, because it's so like role specific. I'm wondering, will people know, realize that they log in, they don't see all this extra content? You may find out people like, how come they have registered to do their newsletter? That's would be one thing. Where's the red newsletter? Not realizing they just logged in. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It'll be interesting to see how far you have to go. These people are moving a lot, not as smart as you would. As you would assume they would do. You and I, we're so used to websites, so used to kind of realizing, oh, I click on this, play a video. It's been amazing to me how much of that is not in psyche. I don't know why. That's what's funny because that was place that I think it was just really good. Seriously? So how are we going to do server and figure that out? That would help with the mail ship, but it wouldn't help with the service. It's all mixed in part of my account. Unless you want to express yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Slow down. Yeah. That's slowing it down. My mind is like, I'm not that bad all the time.
Because you and I had a conversation about, you were like, can you redesign it so we don't have it? And I'm like, all right, I'll do it. You know, like a day later, 2 days later, you say, hey, never mind it worked.
Right.
Yeah, or ending, yeah. So it turned out it was really, because we're not, when I look back on the whole, and maybe that had a lot to do with it, because he was head of that, but there was a lot of emphasis on the back of the because they know yeah, or there was a lot of times they couldn't read when it was a paper. And that one of the value that I got to make a translator of your everybody was like super excited. That was like awesome because no matter what you code, you just click on it and it's not an extra maybe that doesn't matter. I don't know. Sorry. It should be a body. All I care about is supporting. I'm just wondering if your question about you can't register. You can. It has a shows. I haven't looked at it recently, but I remember a year ago or last year. Oh, really? It made a map and put a number, so 23. And those are like okay, well, I wonder if you could put a image map on top of it. That if anybody clicks inside, it just right, like it does not even look at the link, it's just really good. What if it is, right? Because then it would move around. Oh, that's right. Yeah. I forgot about that. But anyway, I don't mind. Honestly, I don't. I mean, I don't want this like. But one of my clients. You have some good ideas. Because when I came, somebody else designed no, you haven't seen it. What you saw was a really effective and there was some pushback because of that feeling of not enough here. Which is sick because I was about to have a lot of so I don't want to say don't change the email. I mean, you want to just consistent with the website. But I turned over there. I did it knowing that I wasn't the main charge, but that I'm not the main. You're the man. I mean, that's. I wouldn't want to clutter it up. Maybe it's more functional. I would always want to find that balance. I always believe that. And I'm doing this now. There's one thing you get happens to that might actually be constantly good up and down. No, it's almost every person's mind. No, for sure. You can have everybody's got right. You learn over time that you constantly get pushed out of it. I don't like doing it. And the idea is to let it be no, but to let it through, even if it's like to try to figure out what about what I did? Did they not let it not what about what they're saying? It's actually valuable information. So I was to incorporate their ideas, but to do it in a way that worked with what I was doing. So never, I mean, it did sometimes, but I would try to not do that. Well, yes, no one does. When they had line over here, when I'm watching, change why. It's all very
What's that show?
Somebody else will be so popular when you can pull it. It's a big need for how to solve that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, good evening to the LA Drupal Meetup. I know it's freaking hot, so we're gonna keep the lights off for a bit. We're gonna keep it cool in here, content-wise, and hopefully temperature-wise. Okay, so tonight, welcome. Tonight is the July Meetup for LA Drupal. This Meetup is going to actually cover a very cool site building panel. This is going to be for Open QA. Basically, you have questions. Maybe you're picking between a couple different modules, or you built the site a certain way. You want to make sure and validate that that was a good way, or just even get panel's thoughts on what would they do in your case in this scenario. So this is definitely the perfect event for you to validate some of your assumptions. Maybe if you've been building Drupal sites a certain way, you've been following some videos, and if you're really new, ask the questions that you really want to ask tonight, because we can actually help you. We have a good announcement tonight that's going to show you guys a platform that's going to allow us to keep you guys learning, building your skill sets at your own pace, but with really a lot of with a lot of involvement from LA Drupal mentors. So this is going to be really killer. So tonight, thank you to Tommy for getting this event up. You guys will see tonight we're doing a couple new things, so bear with us. Nothing should really derail us, but I guess everything is going to be fluid tonight. Let me mention what those are. So we're going to do our announcements and job announcements in just a little bit. But the first big thing I'm doing is we're actually broadcasting live right now to Drupal Hangout. This is actually live on YouTube through our Los Angeles Drupal channel. So you guys can't see right now, but it is recording real quick. So this is not perfect. Of course, we're just going to try this out, see if this even works. 30 seconds after we're pretty much done recording, it actually will automatically publish instantly on YouTube. So the next meetup that we have, if you can't attend in person, you can come live through YouTube on our channel. If you miss it because of traffic in Los Angeles, or you have that wine party that you just couldn't get out of, trust me, I wouldn't want to either. Okay, I like brown bagging it. The live session will be up. Okay. Now, is this a guarantee? No. This is technology. How many here have that perfect technology? Really? Yeah. Let me know who your broker is. Thanks. So we know that this, again, knowing that this is going knowing that this is going to be new for us for a while, we'll get it down a bit. But as you guys have seen before, when we take on new initiatives, we definitely make sure that they work for us and we keep them part of the family. Okay, that was real quick for the YouTube live stream. Tonight we're going to do the panels. So I mentioned about that. We have a couple quick announcements before we get into the rest of everything tonight. First one is Drop Labs. Who's doing that one? You, Lee. Tell Lee.
Okay. Who here just heard of Drop Labs? Who here has not heard of it? Okay. So we are thinking, does everybody know what coercion is? Anybody doesn't? I just want to ask.
You got a good crowd. Go for it. You got a good crowd. Go for it.
All right. So what I'm trying to, we're thinking about opening a West Side Drop Labs. The East Side Drop Labs is really one season. And for the details of that, I would like to hand it over to Tom.
Okay. Hi everybody. So Drop Labs is the top Drupal location in the world. We've had more events and more overall attendance than any other one place in the world. We've had developer boot camps, we've had trainings, we've had meetups, we've had conferences and summits, we've had barn raisings to build websites for nonprofits, all for Drupal, all in Drupal. And I see a couple of members here who have been through the programs or events there, or have actually organized them. And you guys are awesome and are welcome to answer questions if anybody has any questions. So Drop Labs is on the eastern edge of downtown. It's technically a couple hundred feet east of the LA River, so it's east side, and now it's time to open a west side location. So tomorrow, we're going on a series of site visits, and one of them is on Grandview Boulevard, right by the Venice Shrine. Another one is across the street, across from the Venice Shrine. Anyone know the Venice Shrine?
The what?
The Venice Shrine?
Oh,
The Venice Shrine, it was the first ever venue of the high performance Drupal meetup that we used to do. So we are meeting at the Venice Shrine tomorrow at 2:30. Anyone can drop in, and for about an hour, it's a meet and greet. We're going to be finding out what people want to do with the west side location. If people want a west side location, if people don't, then we'll just have coffee and get to know each other. Chances are people will want to have a co-working hangout, community space where they can get their Drupal projects done, ask other mentors for advice, get to build a module, Drupalize, we OS training videos for free because we collect licenses, yada, yada, yada. So 2:30 tomorrow at the Venice Shrine, we're going to go on a walking tour of 2 locations that a broker set up for us to check out. And then we're going to do happy hour at Killer Sprint, right? Tomorrow at 5. And then we're going to check out the Meredith Bay Business Center, which is in Marina Del Rey. So anyone can drop in for all of this stuff. And this is just the beginning. So if there are any questions about Drupal Labs or anything, come and ask me or Lee and any of the other people here. Who's been to Drupal Labs? All right, cool. Who has organized an event at Drupal Labs? I know you have. There you go. So, yeah, we do mentoring. There's a Drupal co-working Friday this Friday at Drupal Labs downtown. One day there'll be a Drupal Labs here, and we'll have a Drupal co-working Friday, which is not a meetup. All day long, it's free. People go. They can work on the stuff. If you don't want to talk to anybody, put on your headphones. But chances are, people are like, hey, I was trying to solve this problem with Qt. And it turns out there's a bug that nobody knew about. Or, hey, you want to use display sheet or panels? Like, oh, well, in this case, you really want to use this or that. People are so awesome in this community and are so willing to help. What we do is we concentrate that, and it runs 24/7 like an engine at Drupal Labs, and that's what it's about. So if anybody wants to come, it's tomorrow, 2:30. Post a comment. There's a thread on DDO/LA. We'd love to have you.
Thank you. Next, we have Drupal 8 study group. Oh, yeah. So every third Monday? Yeah, every third Monday in Burbank, we do a Drupal 8 study group, which is the second hour. First hour is just come with your current Drupal problems and talk about them. Everything in the room. But a lot of what we've been doing is digging into Drupal 8. We make sure our Drupal 8 install, we have a site that we have put together so far on Drupal 8. We get it updated, and we're building out a platform to have meetups about Drupal, like and pizza places that are around. So this is our pizza and Drupal meetup, Burbank, third Mondays at 7 o'clock. I think there might be a note up or a real soon. So you can take a look at the video. Thanks, Tommy. Then we also have a couple very, very quick ones. If you've been coming to meetups for a while, you'll know these. So quick show of hands, how many of you are new here tonight? Welcome. Okay, everybody, let's give them a warm welcome. So you might be new to LA Drupal meetups, but you might not be new to Drupal. But even if you are, we have an association for Drupal that we help support. People here who are familiar with the association have purchased membership through them. You don't need to buy anything to use Drupal. Drupal is free. This is something that helps give some money back to the project in small monetary amounts. If you can't contribute in code. What this also does is it allows you to show that you actually are a part of the community on things like your business card, your blog, any kind of promotional items that you have. So the Drupal Association is basically run by the Drupal Association is an organization that offers membership. So the people that run it, they're basically all around the globe. They're contributors, they're volunteers, they're key people. But for us normal people out here who aren't involved with that, you can actually purchase a membership badge. Well, sorry, you can get a membership, and part of that is a membership badge. Let me show you what you get. So they're new. For those that have previous years, these are the new Drupal ones. Now, anybody notice something different with these badges besides just a nice new design?
It costs money.
No old school drop. Okay. Don't be surprised that you're going to see a lot more of this. So, what I also want to point out to you is not only picking up a membership is going to give you one of these really snazzy badges. But don't these look cool? These look good, right? Over the previous years. But what I want to bring up is this is something that you and your companies or you and yourself might want to think about when you're using Drupal branding. Okay? Don't get too fixed on the old logo, the smiley face. There isn't a new one presented just yet, but you know, just understand that this is going to change a bit. So, if you haven't gotten this year's badge, definitely go up and upgrade your account to be valid for this year. Slap your badge on your glove, on your business card, use it everywhere that you can. If you haven't purchased a membership, consider purchasing one. The membership prices, they do actually change a bit. I think, here's some other cool ones. Look, technology supporter. See, there's actually a lot more than there were before. So I would definitely advise people checking out these badges. And from what I remember, the premium support, stuff like that. From what I remember, for an individual, it was like $3,500 US dollars. Okay. So because there's all these different tiers, now there's a lot of different ones that you can get into. For an organization, I think it was last at like $105, something like that. So if your company does Drupal sites, if your company does Drupal work, I totally know you can carve out, you know, $160 from your business, from one of the projects to make sure you get on these badges at least. Now, whether you take the membership in its full form of all its benefits with discounts, right? And who here is taking advantage of some of the discounts? Software editors, hosting fees, there's a lot of discounts. So there's more value than this badge and just saying you're cool. There is value in it. So definitely check it out. There's too much to list here. I'll give you a quick glance. I mean, these are already just some of the places that are offering, you know, some benefits. Okay, link.com. I'm a link.com author. My Drupal 16 video training series is on there. So this is one of the ways that you can take advantage of, you know, some of the benefits for the membership. Besides the really, really cool badges. But the point that I want to make for those that understand what I'm saying about the logo, definitely consider breaking yourself away from that. And just understanding that that is probably going to change soon. With Drupal 8 actually coming out, this is actually a really good time for Drupal to carve out a better branding for itself. Okay, and you're going to see some initiatives probably come out of that. Just be aware of that because it will actually kind of, I think, change, you know, what we see promoted for Drupal services. You know, that smiley logo is cute, but Drupal has gotten a lot more serious, a lot of enterprise clients, a lot of government clients, and the cute smiley face, you kind of like go so far, right? Cute buttons and stuff. So, question here in the question. This is what I think was wrong. There's no information on that, but figure it's just evolution. We're going to drop.
Yes. And if you happen to run a substantial enterprise that makes it really consider becoming a partner. And I know there are a few people in that class.
Right. So the partner level is substantially larger of a donation. We're talking thousands of dollars here. But if you are an enterprise level consulting firm, sponsor, something like that. No, but this is who they're really talking to. Really, this is it. So any of you, if you feel you're mid-tier or you're in a growth period, check out all the different badges. Look at your resources, your team. See who would actually really help you promote these different facets of your business. Yes.
Yeah, I also want to say that if you're thinking about becoming any kind of sponsor of LA of DrupalCon, you know, you should really try and nail that down sooner than later, because no matter what kind of sponsorship you go for, there are premium, there are things you can get that are better now than what you'll be able to get right here, really.
Like what?
Like what? So, you know, we're sponsoring a boss room, and some of the boss rooms will have projectors, some won't, some will be bigger, some will be smaller. So we got our pick of the boss room. We would push people to sponsor the boss room.
So for positioning in some spots within the Drupal community, you might want to consider getting one of the bigger batches.
Yeah, the thing is, if you're going to go on the floor and do a booth, you know, your location is going to mean a lot. All the booths of whatever size cost the same, but there are locations, some locations are better than others. You really want to be able to get the pick of that. So,
Well, it's funny you should say that, Garrett. But speaking of booths at a Drupal event, we actually have our big annual camp coming up this summer. Okay, how many here are excited? Oh, there you go. That was a trick. And raising
not everyone was excited.
Right. Don't worry, I've got more than enough excitement for all of them. So September 6th and 7th, all weekend. Raise your hands. Who has been to one of our previous Drupal camps? Thank you very much. Good job, everybody. In fact, actually, quite a few of the hands that you saw raised, for those that have never attended our event, these are also some of the presenters there. So we give back to the community. We have well over 60 sessions, a lot of tracks. We'll get into some more of that. But basically, it's free for attendees. It's 2 days. It's a weekend at UC Irvine Conference Center. Great air conditioning. The whole building. I am not bullshitting. And what's killer is we've got some great sponsors. Platinum. Big wall of wonderful platinum sponsors. Thank you, Stopper. They're the venue, food, Wi-Fi tonight, and this is a The Stopper team has been supporting us on the platinum level for years now, so they've been great. Thank you for returning again. K-Wall, again, for years. So we got a K-Wall rep here. Thank you. Acquia. Acquia is the first year is now in the platinum level. They've always supported. They've always been a sponsor, but this year they know it's big. With Drupal 8, with their Acquia platform, they are going big with their marketing on this. So they want to come in full force. Media Temple, you guys are going to love this. For the ones that have been there for the previous years, where Media Temple sponsors a free party, beer, open bar all night, until a certain But real quick, all of us who have taken part in that open bar tab for Media Temple, have we really ever had a problem of running out of beer? No. Okay, if I food with it, if you don't drink, that's fine. You've got a lot of stuff. Okay, food, fried food, fatty foods. This is really good. Media Temple is sponsoring us again this year, and they paid for the open bar tab the night of the 6th. Okay, so Saturday, the first night, right upstairs from all the sessions is a bar called the Anthill Pub, and that's where we're going to be partying for the whole night. Okay, it's a great time for those that have not been. It's a great weekend. So Black Mesh also has come in, and Achieve has also just come in as well as platinum sponsors. This is one of our biggest years. They've helped really make sure that we can cover our costs. Costs, for those that don't know, are very expensive to run, even a small camp. We use a great venue, but we do try to keep it in a very loose style. So it ends up costing us money just out of logistics and venue stuff. Okay. Thank you to our sponsors, the people here, the people not here that might be watching the video later. This is great. And then there are other sponsors that I definitely encourage you to check out the Drupal camp page, site for more information. But also the sessions. Make sure that you're posting a session if you're interested. Make sure you're picking the sessions that you're interested. We've got quite a bit. There's more coming in real quick. And this year, one of the big differences, you're going to actually start to see a flood of PHP sessions. Because we have linked up with PHP user groups, and we're essentially running a mini PHP camp within our Drupal campus. Right. So it's going to be for those who's used to learning PHP. Perfect. We're going to help all of you. Okay? All of you. So that's Drupal Camp LA. Spring 2015 will be the official Drupal conference out here in LA. So when there's more information, we'll let you guys know about that. But there really isn't anything besides just a general announcement. Still, one killer feature though that I have tonight for us is an announcement. Actually, no, before we jump into this, let's do job announcement. Sorry. So, Stopper, do you have one? Yeah, right. So, Stopper, I think Todd, or did anybody else have a job announcement? Okay, so we're going to move on to drop labs here. Or, sorry. Right? Yes, got it. The announcement going to be off, I listed there. We'll do the order that I actually said. Anybody else have a job announcement? Anybody here looking for work? Did you get an announcement yourself? Available. All right, let's go. You already want.
Everybody, you probably know about after University. So today's job announcement is going to be a little different. So we're not actually looking for a developer, amazingly enough. Right now, we're actually looking for QA testers. So if you by chance are an entry-level developer and thought to yourself, maybe that may be a good way to get my foot in the door, you're right, you're totally with me. We're looking for QA testers doing cross-browser testing, as well as both white and black box testing, primarily for Drupal sites. I'd say Drupal is probably about, 80%, 70-80% of our revenue. So most of what we do is Drupal. And if you have any questions, please come to me up. Thanks, everybody.
Cool, thank you. Todd? Yeah, I'm Todd. I work with Lyle. I'm based out of Florida. I'm looking for Drupal and you can work remote. So very good. That was probably the first question, right? Cool, thank you, Todd. And then Lee, thank you.
Hi, everybody. We're looking for senior agile project managers. Again, we get to work remotely. So if you know anybody who has agile project management, we're looking for at least 4 years experience and an agile.
Cool. So with that, I'm going to do one last announcement, and then we're going to actually kick off our panel tonight. This one is a big one for us, for the community. For a long time, we've tried to basically tool everybody in our community here, all members, people even outside of our local membership, with all the different knowledge that is here. We've got some great talent, we've got some great sessions, great meetings, great events. But we're not alone too. So one of the things a long time ago, I'm talking years ago, that I was really looking forward to was trying to spark a mentor program. Designs for that were all over the board, for sure. Great ideas, some unique ideas, whether they were 100 ideas or just one idea, nothing really stuck that I thought was something that could scale. Okay, because what I've done is, as a teacher, as somebody who's done training, I see the different levels. I'm very familiar with even conversations with, just one-on-one with you, or hearing your questions and understanding what you guys really kind of need. The problem is scale. I couldn't figure out, I was really pondering it for a long time. How do you scale? I tried even private betas myself. A couple other people have done these. Wrote private mentor periods, programs, one-on-ones, groups of 3s to 1 mentor, different combinations. A lot of this stuff happened in the background, just to see what kind of worked and take notes from that. Again, I kept running into this wall. I just kept noticing scaling was an issue. We were going to bog mentors down, and people were going to go. A lot of people were going to go by without ever even getting a chance to mentors. This is a problem. This is hard. Telling people to look things up also doesn't really give them, the empowerment that they're looking for. They want confidence. So I'm talking to you a little bit, not so much as hyperbole here, but really, this is the stuff that I see. It's not too abstract, but the people that they are, for me, are abstract because it's all of you, in different shapes and forms for sure. So what I have done for now is try to come up with a way that we can get stuff in front of you guys easier to find. How many here have gone to the UC Irvine wonderful video archive from our events? Easy to find stuff? Not so much. Archive.org? Not so much. YouTube, scattered like crazy. Linda, Drupalize Me, Build a Module, these new training platforms, what they do is they bring cohesive training, courses, okay? But there's a lot out there. There's a lot out there for free, and it's not that I'm trying to find something for free, but I'm trying to find what works for a lot of different levels and people, different types. People in an office, people working from home, okay? People abroad, people who travel, people, who are in a great office like this. Thank you, Stopper, for. By the way, we forgot to do our sponsor thank you in the beginning. So I want to say thank you to the sponsors for the venue, for the sponsoring. So going back to this, it's easy to use YouTube to do some live streaming. As you see, our official channel, which is youtube.com, you can type Los Angeles Drupal into YouTube, you can type it into Google, and videos, YouTube, whatever you want, and you'll find us. We're right there at the top. This works on smart TVs, smart devices, the apps, everything out there. So if you have an internet smart connected device, you can reach these videos much easier. we did is we brought over hundreds of videos from the internet archive of UC Irvine from the previous Drupal camps, our old meetings from our old channel on Lyft, just a lot of old stuff. And what we did is, well, we basically put it in a nice form for you guys to digest, ongoing, to find some of the old stuff, but definitely the new stuff is what's really valuable. So let me just give you a brief on this. When you come into this page, you can subscribe like everybody else on YouTube. You click subscribe, it'll maybe pop in your notification once in a while that we push a new playlist or a new video. That's great. When you subscribe, you'll keep up to date. Our live sessions, whenever we have a live event, whether it's a fun hangout that's online and remote through one of our little online groups, or it's a live session like this at a live meetup, you'll see these now. You go to the YouTube page, you can click it before it's even started, subscribe and notify yourself when that event gets started. Okay, this is really good, easy stuff. The minute it's done, it publishes to YouTube, so you'll see that too automatically. So this is great for the new stuff. The old stuff that we have is wonderful content. We have our meetups in a special playlist, so when we have individual presentations right from the meetup, you will see all of these listed in order from the meetups, basically by date. No, that's wrong. Sorry. Okay. By date, so meetups. Again, you can search on this, you can filter on this. Want to learn Drush, theming, Omega theme, Zerb, they were just here, all this stuff, okay? Also, we have other playlists. Now, this is where I want to branch back into the mentor spin that I was talking about earlier. My plan right now is a very early test on mentoring the large groups of people, different skill sets, through having digital mentors help make these playlists with us. We don't have to publish only our own videos. We don't have to create new videos. In fact, if you look, we have videos from DrupalCon, from Acquia, from all these sources on YouTube that are great 2-minute, 2-hour, 20-minute presentations, how-tos. This is great. So we get to bring in all the content from YouTube that is good. We basically are going to have people volunteer to curate playlists, make cohesive training for like building the panel. So the stuff that you hear at the meetups, we're going to try to make sure that there's a playlist that helps bring that stuff out for you guys. Okay? Does this sound good? Does this seem like something you guys would use? Yeah. All right, good. Because we have theming, Drush, Drupal 8, Drupal 7. Okay? This is just the first 6 out of tons of videos in the Drupal Camp LA 2013 video. We have playlists for every Drupal camp. So there's a lot here, okay? There's a lot. Every Drupal conference we have now here listed. Right? So we brought this together to give you guys a place to just at least digest the stuff that's out there. We have not really even promoted this yet, and we've already had 12,000 minutes viewed, okay? How many hours of training free was that to new people? The stats, again, the stats have been just organically coming in. People are looking for this stuff. But we built it for you guys here. So what I'm looking forward to is seeing you guys come in, learn from this, seeing us build playlists together, because this is the stuff that's going to really help us. We have beginners, intermediate, and advanced, but all forms, design, development, users, content editors, okay? I need your help by just letting me know what would be good to be up there. The topics that we hear, we want to put them up there. It's free for us to do these, okay, these playlists. We can find the videos. Just let's try this out for a while and see how this goes, because I think this can actually really help people not just discover the videos that we already have, but again, we can create some sort of mentorship, cohesive list of different things you want to learn about people. We'll have lists about PHP, JavaScript, CSS, SAS. We'll make sure all of those are in there so you can cover the gamut. We'll make sure there's a QA list, okay? Using QA tools that are really good for development or just even testing. We'll make sure all this is there. It will take time. Today, we have over 200 videos in the channel. In the next 2 months, we can have several hundred videos from the right sources like DrupalCon, Acquia, Pantheon, all these channels that are out there. So I thank you for letting me take the slice of time tonight to present this. I feel it's a big deal for us moving forward. And again, I want you guys to use this. So pass this around, talk about it. How can you get to it besides YouTube? Well, We've got a big fat red button for a little while right on our group's homepage. I figured that would help you guys find it now. But look what we're doing here. We have these categories, so you'll see us start to break up and just so you can call out these playlists. Very simply, recorded sessions. Look how to make things. Look how to, learn how to make code. Develop modules for Drupal. So we'll keep building these up over time. We also have a videos tab right here. Okay. So you can get to this. We basically are just trying to make sure that you guys have very easy access to this. Again, the big red button will go away later. It'll turn to a smaller red button. But it's to help emphasize what we have today. It's a new big platform for us. Okay, thank you very much for that. I'm very excited. Now let's go ahead and get into our meetup. We have a panel. We're going to have Todd. We're going to have Jeremy. Or there? No, not Jeremy. We're going to have Jeremy. Hi, Jeremy. Okay, Frank. Hi, Frank. Hi. And somebody named Chris. Me. But I'll be moderating and then hopefully in gaps. The panel tonight is on site building tips and site building, site building workflow, site building processes. So what we're going to do is, if my panelists, yes, perfect. If my panelists would like to join us up here. I can definitely do that. We're going to have lights on right now. There we go. Can we have one more chair? That's probably how we can make sure that everyone fits, because that doesn't put the panel anyway. Okay, so we're pretty good there. Go ahead and hang out. You give me a minute? All right, cool. So, while Frank's getting set up, we'll take that right now. While Frank's getting finished, we'd like to take a quick minute to answer a community question, a quick Q&A. Does somebody have a Drupal problem? Somebody is looking for a Drupal answer, and we'll try to answer it within the next few minutes. Does anybody have a quick question or something that they've been wondering about Drupal? Be technical, non-technical? Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Okay. So, is anyone here a views expert? Anyone know how to use and/or filters? Because I've got it configured just right, and it's just not working. Using the latest version of Views, which is 3.8. It was working with 3.7. The upgrade seems to have broken it.
Clear your cache.
Oh yeah.
Great question.
As a new query? If you look at the old one, does it generate a different query from the new one?
New query.
So,
It's a query, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And if you pull the query out and put it into my admin or something, will it run?
Okay. What else? Anybody else have a good way to suss this out?
Well, aside from here, I'd suggest posting it in the issue queue along with exporting the view that you have for this, because they'll generally look for the exact view and what kind of stuff is going on, so then they can debug whether or not this is an issue of views or it's something that you might just set up differently. That would be the way to go, because it sounds like it might be an issue of views, but you know.
Thank you. If anybody wants to spend 5 minutes with me later, I'm happy to show the problem.
Thank you.
My question is about anybody's involvement with Bootstrap. Anybody deals extensively with Drupal 7 Bootstrap? Have you done any like custom Drupal 6 integration with Bootstrap?
6?
Why'd you bring me all the way back down? Now I feel like you just totally,
I'm just
pulled me into the woods and then hit me with a brick.
Drupal 6?
Yeah.
Do we have videos for that?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay. So those are up on YouTube.
The Drupal 6 videos? Yeah. Okay. Drupal 6 and Bootstrap?
Yeah.
Really?
like Bootstrap 3 or?
Yeah, Bootstrap.
Are you talking about the Drupal 6 Bootstrap? Or
Yeah, see, that's where I was
No, that's here.
Okay. What's the problem? I mean, what's the problem?
It's not necessarily a problem. I'm just looking for anybody who's done this in the past.
Okay.
You've had opportunities to do it. Just talk amongst yourself and then later on. See what happens.
Making sure there's not a lot of broken glass in front of you. Okay.
Wow. Sorry.
There's a sweet theme called Bootstrap Business. Sweet. It works.
For Drupal 7.
Drupal 7.
right, we tried. All right, got them all. Okay, so let me fix this video piece right here.
Yeah, guys.
Hey,
there's everybody.
A little bit
I'll send you the link.
No, I'm missing one chair on that side. No, I'm missing your chair. No, sit in it. All right. Yeah, you're half not here. Yes.
Does it work?
All right. Welcome everybody. Okay, so I gotta listen. Okay, so stand this way. All right. Hi, for those that don't know me, my name is Chris Charlton. Sorry I'm a bit silly tonight. I'm just in a good mood, so there we go. I'm going to be one of the panelists, but I'm also going to be one of the moderators. For those that have actually seen me help moderate and be on the panels, you can get prizes as well. So what we're going to do tonight is just talk about some general site building. So if nobody has a question to open us up with, I can actually get that started. We have Frank. You're a warm welcome. Thank you. Jeremy. And thank you to Todd for filling in for one of our panelists that actually had to get last time. So thank you, Todd. Appreciate that. Thank you, everybody, for joining the panel. Okay. I know it's not that formal. So does anybody have an immediate site building question? Wonderful. Let's see how this goes.
Hi, my name is Adi, and I'm building my first video site, and I have tons of problems, but the main question that first comes to mind is I came up with the idea that it's easier for viewers to, when they come to the homepage, to just be able to play the video right from the industry, not have to keep going to the main.
Like a detail page.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I have like 10 loading on each index page. One problem is sometimes I see the keeps loading and loading and loading forever. And I don't know what that's from, if it's a bad video or if that's just the nature of when I put 10 videos on the same page that's going to take forever to load, even though I'm not saying any of the videos. So I'm wondering if that's even a good idea to have all these videos loading at the same, not loading, but being able to
be on the same page at the same time, right?
Yeah.
How are the videos posted?
Just on the shared posting, just side file.
But it's your site, it's not like an embedded YouTube or video. Right?
No. I'm hosting them myself.
Then what are you using a plugin to put that in, or is it just?
What's your player?
Yeah.
It's the open something video player on that. It's a Drupal module.
Okay.
I can't
Open video. You might have a point.
What are the size of your video?
That was my second question, that I haven't, for the life of me, figured out how to assign 3D images.
Okay, thumbnails, right? So that's second.
So that
be your first one.
Yeah.
The videos, and then so the question is, for those that didn't turn back, the question is, I have a Drupal site on one of the big index pages. I have like 10 videos, basically all showing up, ready to start to click play. Some of them kind of spin, basically just not that performant. And he was asking, what should you look at when you think about that? We want to pick this up.
What I would say is you're posting all this on a shared host.
Yeah.
So what I would recommend doing is taking your videos off of whatever your shared host is and moving it over to something like S3 or maybe Amazon Web Services to offload that. You could be getting bogged down just from pulling the video off of there. If you're loading all 10 videos at once, that's probably a bad idea as well, because you've got all of these videos that are all loading. What would you say the average length of the video is?
Actually, before we go to the length of the video, let's assume that he's not preloading it, like maybe he's ready to initialize. What would be some of the things that he would want to probably look at first? And you were talking about performance. You were talking about just putting straight on the server for it to broadcast all those files. So maybe he's running into a threads issue in the browser and a serving issue. at the same time.
Yeah.
So one of those points that I was making right now is, Frank's right, your server might be bogged down. So if you separate just the videos, you pull from another domain, another subdomain, another server, that should help actually, give some relief to your main web server. If you've got a good cluster, if you've got a good host for your website, I think you're great. What's happening is you might just be experiencing just a slowness on the front end. So if like you're caching, like if it's not aggregating the front end stuff, it's JavaScript. If all that is turned on, you might be running into something that you're overloading the browser and it's just taking forever to get all come in, and what's known as paint or render. People are familiar with that term. So it might just be a very heavy kind of interactive page, a lot of media on there, something just really bogging the browser down. If you could try it on a different computer, then you're a little bit easier. If any access to something a little bit easier, see how that goes, for you. If it behaves a little different, then you know it's the client itself. But you should look at maybe separating it or figuring out a way that you're not straining the web server to also do your video hosting as well. Somebody has a thing to
I would not load all the videos all in one. I mean, really, it should be an image. You have to click on before it even starts to load.
Yeah.
The video itself is coming up. It's going to be automatically trying to load fire video all at once.
That was the key question. It's going to automatically load. I don't want it to automatically load.
You may or may not, depending on the video. Yeah, so, I mean, we're all in agreement that if it's loading all of them, then that's bad. So if we go forward, let's assume that it's not loading at all, then it is just some other performance thing that needs to. So it's out. Carrie, what was
Well, from my point of view, all these solutions to the video and the share code are just rearranging that share on the Titanic. Unless you have some exceptional reason for hosting these videos, you might be hosting them on Vimeo, or you need to put them on S3 with cloud stuff, that's fine, or more complex, but the scale of what you're doing and the scale of what you're doing it on don't match. Even if you did have all that, there's no way you want your videos on the same server. Or share.
Right.
To add to exactly what you're saying, it's one more point, one more reason why you want to go sometimes or whatever they're saying, is even if you just take from the perspective that many of your viewers are going to be doing it on this, those clients, when you do the embed, which they give you the embed code, it couldn't get any easier to get that on your page. It will automatically, the minute they start to play it, Vimeo is going to change that to a full screen. You don't have to worry about any of your code. Make it mobile responsive. That's all taken care of by Vimeo. So you get all of that built in. And the cost to store your videos, no matter, unless you're going really big, it's incredibly reasonable on pricing. So there's really no reason to put it on your post.
So the consensus for there would be stop doing extra work on your server, and for yourself personally, with time, use a service that's out there that is well suited for video, like a Vimeo, like a YouTube, or anything that's an Amazon partner.
The problem with video, I mean YouTube though, is I just want to talk to them all the time. If any of your videos have any sort of protected user content, you're going to get ads all over your stuff. So don't use YouTube if you have any protected at all. Like anything, like even if you're using GarageBand, you're going to get ads.
That's why I started posting it myself.
Yeah, it's a catch-22.
It's a personal blog site.
Yeah.
I have a little clip from an TV program that I just want to write an article about, and YouTube deletes it.
Within 5 minutes, you're done. But just don't use YouTube. It's the only one that's doing it right now.
Yeah, if you're going to run into that.
But
you need a better video system for that.
My only question was going to be, are there any modules on Drupal.org that would let you upload the videos from your site, and then it would automatically go to video, or if we're not going to
yeah, it's actually one of the media upload modules. There is actually a plugin. Right, there's a YouTube one as well. I think that one's in the sandbox though. So yeah, there actually are, now it's HTML5 friendly, so you have drag and drop, and then queues, DL upload and stuff like that, so you can have multiple ones, push through the API and publish. Yeah, so there are some sub-modules to media and bulk upload. Bulk upload required? Bulk upload. Media bulk upload, sorry. Yeah, but I don't know if that's actually required for you to want to do the pass-through. So the question for those that might not have heard, and we're coming back here, question. The question on the show was, are there any Drupal modules that allow people to upload videos right within the Drupal CMS? Right?
Yeah, to Vimeo or
to
to
these external services like Vimeo. So yes, there is. Actually, what I'll do is I'll try to make it available on my board and post it in the notes. And for your question, I think really the services that we mentioned are probably just going to be your best bet. So it wouldn't be a link that I would probably recommend offhand. Okay. Let me see.
In the meantime, you are trying to display those preloading the videos.
All right, so before we go back to the thumbnail question, because I want to make sure we get everybody in a minute. Does anybody have an immediate question about how they're building a Drupal site? One asked us, how would we do a certain scenario of a Drupal site? Like right now, we're just talking about videos. Does anybody have something like a video site that they need to produce themselves? Or listening to videos? Blog? Yeah.
If you need a question.
Well, I want to make sure people that have questions that we get them in early, because otherwise, I want to start kind of, scaring, some good topics that people.
This might be too overly simple, but I'm really trying to wrap my head around the Drupal's internal, its built-in menu system, so I can figure out the best. I need right now. The reason for the question is right now I'm using Mega Menu. We're having mega issues with it, so I don't know whether it's just our implementation of it, or but I'm just thinking at a better understanding of how it's working on top of Drupal's menu system and using it might help me figure out either A, how to fix my issues, or decide to go to some other, module or something else to solve my problem.
What would your problem be that you're using that to help?
Well, the fact that one of the problems that I'm having is any secondary, anything that's secondary level that's not a main top level item, it has to be a page. It has to be linked. You can't have an item that is just a heading that has children underneath it. So that's a problem. I don't want landing pages for every single menu item that is secondary. That's fine for my top level, but that's one issue that I'm having with it. But I don't know if that's a Mega Menu problem or that's just inherent to Drupal.
It's just a Drupal issue, but there's a module that lets you put in non-linked items in your menu and also separators.
I'm using it as a stopgap for right now, but there are problems with that too that I don't want to get into that.
Well, we can help you.
Yeah, no, well, all right, so the issue that I run into there, well, so the problem with it is I start to run into a style problem too, because you can't really style that. You can do some inline style in where you can put in what you want that title to be. You can actually put in some inline CSS in there, but I found some limits with it, and it's not exactly what I want. But it does work.
At the risk of sounding too simplistic, you shouldn't be going inline with your CSS. Right? I would just depend really on classes and IDs, and specificity more than anything, whatever you do. But just go ahead and if you want to literally mark up with some extra classes, do it. Just get that out. You might actually be running, I don't know if you debug the CSS, but I don't know if inline is just your quick fix, or if you were trying to not have to edit your CSS in the theme or something like that.
I couldn't figure out how to get the menu just to understand that menu item from that module. Yeah, to give it a class.
Is there a module that will give the classes?
Yes, menu attributes.
Yeah, that would probably.
Menu attributes is a good module, so I'm ready to come for you.
There's also, if you've got a method blocks, you have the block class module, you can apply it block. And the other thing, menu placement rules. So you can that's
that helps a lot, actually.
It has a good API as well.
Yeah.
For being able to specify your own There's another module that's right down that's for me to put in there that allows you to basically create menus, like a menu listing that would have a arguments that you pass through. So just how like the default edit for a node would be node/nid/edit. So you can start putting in things like a topic, whatever, topic arguments, and then /magazine, and you can have that be a rule that then generates other context, things like that.
Those are the things that I remember you
wanted to mention. That's what I was telling you to email. Look it up.
Oh,
you got it, but
All right, so look up and what's the context of that email there?
Menu argument module.
Menu R module. All right.
Is that doing what Mega Menu does?
I don't know. I don't use Mega Menus, so I'm not exactly sure what it's used.
Because we were looking at Mega Menus for a site, and we didn't use it because it wasn't very well supported.
Yeah, we use a lot of menu block. We use the menu position rules. We have block classes, that sort of thing. Really good.
So you kind of created your own module to get the same effect that Mega Menu does?
No, what is the exact use case for Mega Menu?
We were trying to, instead of doing a sidebar menu, we wanted to do a top menu that would show it, the code underneath it. But I hate the ones that go out, and because if your arrow goes off, it disappears. I'd like to be able to do CSS to control what that looks like, so that I can go around it. Mega Menu was the only solution I saw.
There's that. So we use Superfish for a lot of that. There's Maxi Menu if you're looking for really crazy menu things. We want to block some menus, menu filters, that sort of thing.
It's a big factor.
Yeah.
No, I think all right.
If you're a shoe company, no, I mean, you're trying to serve your days, but when you need that brand, that full look, you want that big, impactful, design look, that's a perfect model.
Whatever the designer is putting forward is kind of what you end up with. But it's the
pushback.
I push back all the time, but
I'm here.
I don't like, of course, you say that. I don't like Maxi Menus, but the module does serve its purpose, and there's some really cool far out things that you can do with it. That would be absolutely insane.
Maxi Menu?
Maxi Menu.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now for everybody.
Sure.
There's also a panels-based one. I think it's called like menu panels or something like that. I forget the exact name for it, but it's, at least it used to be well maintained. I haven't looked at it in a while.
Yeah, so to do like the normal drop down where you got to drop down and it comes over and you got like a library supporting it. That's we usually use that gives you a good experience.
But I hate that experience. I need from a user experience. That's really, it's like a test.
Right.
You shouldn't be having all those drops.
Yeah, that's the real thing right there. Is that the design shouldn't require that.
Right.
So if your design does require you to have like 3 layers of drop downs or 2 layers
No,
of drop
just
downs,
2 at the most.
yeah, you shouldn't have that.
Now you're talking negotiating with the user or something like that. Maybe that too. Use it. No, I'm sorry. I want to make sure that we've answered, well, we tried.
No, you did a lot of great stuff.
Yeah,
I could drag this on and I won't because.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. All right, we're going to open it up again. Yes.
Oh no, I just wanted to know exactly what that module was that you both were talking about, which was not mentioned.
Special menu item.
Yeah.
Special menu items is a really good one. Yeah. Another, there's another one that allows you to. This is how I build out my menus anyways. There's power edit module.
Menu editor.
Oh, special menu item. Yeah, this one.
Yeah, you can use that along with special menu items, and you also have there's one that allows you to just put in like new for your special menu items. Yeah, and if you so you can build out your menus really quickly, put that new in there, and you were talking about not wanting to have a page for everything and have to go through the process of creating a page. This allows you to build out your menu, and then you can just have your menu open, click on it, they present you with the menu of what kind of content are you going to put here, and then you click on the content type. It already has the menu stuff filled out for you. You just edit, put in your content. You can get to that process of building your architecture really quickly.
What was the last one you just mentioned?
Menu editor.
Menu editor?
Yeah, you do a power, that's the same thing. You do a power edit page where it has the entire menu hierarchy all on one page. And you can drag everything around and let you create multiple items and do placeholders. Yeah, well, there's placeholders, but there's another one, thing is called menu create or something like that module where that allows you to put the new placeholder in there.
Yeah, the new page placeholder, like a screenshot.
Yeah.
So what does that really actually do though? It lets you put a menu item.
Placeholder, yeah. So it creates the menu without having any actual content.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
When you use it,
Oh, right, like a little hack. Yeah, has anybody here also needed to put some menu items in just to kind of pull it out a little bit so you can theme it before they make pages? Right? Has anybody had that? A couple of us? I see a couple of us. I didn't know. So it looks like this is actually one of those perfect modules that you can use during development, then basically cut it out at the end and you don't need it anymore.
Basically, this is one of those modules where you definitely want to disable it before you hand it to your client, or else they're going to start using this to try to edit things. And it's one of those things like,
It's called menu editor.
it's called power edit, and they'll see the power edit tab there, and they'll click on that, and then they'll hit save, and because it allows them to save every menu item that's there, you have the potential of really, really destroying things very quickly. And so, definitely want to talk to you about turning this off before heading to the client. There's one other module,
We'll do one last module.
it's the, thing's called the menu Ajax editor, something along those lines.
Menu Ajax editor.
Yeah, and what it allows you to do is, if you've got a main menu that's massive, hundreds and hundreds of nodes in the main menu, it allows you to collapse your menu section so you're not loading every single page. So you can look at your normal menu edit screen and then not have, not run out of memory basically.
Yeah. Yeah, found it? Oh, yeah. All right, so it was the Ajax menu editor.
add that to the other day.
Okay. Couldn't find the link to that, so wonderful. Does anybody have a question for themselves? Site building? Yes.
Commerce Kickstarter.
Go ahead.
Needy. Yeah. Is there a way for Drupal to unpublish a product when that product's documented?
Yes. Rules.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But is there it? Yeah.
What is the
What is the rule? Actually, you just have to turn it on, right?
Yeah,
It's I think the former rule if you didn't use Kickstart, the install profile.
Yeah, I have it here on my computer.
You know, we can try to do that after, for sure. So you can definitely come on up and we'll go through your rules list. But so the question was Commerce Quick Start. So Kickstart. For those that don't know, there's a Commerce Suite module. A Commerce module suite for Drupal. So you can have an e-commerce site in your Drupal site. It does a lot of great features. But to get people started, so they don't have to kind of start from scratch, there's a quick, easy installer called Commerce Kickstart. It literally will kickstart your Drupal site. Gives you a nice, beautiful, theme to get started. It has some basic products, but it has all the things for you to get started very easily through a wizard when you're installing it. Check it out if you haven't looked at it at all. Commerce Kickstart, you guys see right here. So it is well worth it. This is one of those. These are called distributions. It's also there's an install profile of distributions. A lot of the Drupal hosting companies out there today, they allow you to start a free cloud server for development only, no production use. But you can basically have one quick install of Commerce Kickstart or any of the other distributions, Open Atrium, anything. So if anybody's interested in that, feel free to hit us up after. Me, maybe anybody else can volunteer for that. These are really, really great, and again, you're getting free cloud to try out, so you don't have to charge the client. But it's very limited, of course, just to get started. Not a production service, so small entity. Anyway, Commerce Kickstart, it's rules. So what people don't know is that, or might not know, is there's a module suite called Rules that actually manages really these cool workflow things. When something happens, do this, and you're able to actually create your own rule, very easy in an interface. Let me bring this up.
While you bring that up, it's also one of those things which has a very extendable you have some code that you want to fire off every time something happens, but that particular hook isn't enabled in Dual, it's very quick and easy to just put that hook into it and then that, within the rules API.
So for those that are comfortable with code, you can definitely interface with rules very quickly. It's a very, I mean, it's well documented API. That's one of the biggest things.
Well documented, one of the simplest APIs out there.
To do some very quick things, yeah, it really is actually pretty small in the API chain. But for those that don't know how to code, you're able to build these rules up through a very simple interface. If this, then that. It's not code, you're clicking things, you're choosing, you know. When I do this, please do this in these scenarios. And then you can disable rules, you can enable rules. So one of the rules that you're looking for, the one to mark it out of stock when it reaches 0, it might just be a dwelling rule that needs to be enabled. We'll look at that later. Okay, good question. Yes, you can. Is it related to the conversation?
Yeah.
It is? All right, we'll knock it out, and then I want to make sure we have one of these and then come back to you on that question.
Also, I'm having a problem with the variations. As variation products sell out, maybe I'll be left with one more variation. And usually comes out of a menu, like on the product page. And basically, when you're on your last variation, that menu won't show up anymore. So, like, let's say you sell out large, medium, and extra large, and you have small left. Well, that menu won't show that that product is the small one.
What does it show for you?
It just disappears because I guess it needs more than 2
The
variations.
product disappears entirely?
No, not the product, the menu.
The
drop down,
right?
drop
To
down.
the side.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you set a default on the drop down? Is it default to large or something bigger than it? You know, I didn't know your scenarios right now about small, but did you maybe have it fixed on something like a default size?
I didn't
You can touch that?
I mean, I just created a bunch of variations, small, medium, large.
Okay.
Then they show up on the page fine as long as they're small, medium, and large. Once you run out of the large,
Right,
medium,
right.
and small.
Trivial question, have you made sure that you're up to date on modules? There's some comments on that. Okay, make sure. Okay, good. Anybody have any idea with this one? Okay,
Yeah, well, a lot of things in Drupal basically just disappear if it's the only option, such as like the little tabs that you see. If you're down to just one thing, it's not going to show it up there. So that would be my guess, is that it just doesn't show it if it's not there. Now, if you don't have the other options, why even give the user the ability to click on an empty select list? I mean, it would be better probably if the select list, if you clicked on it, it said, out of stock or something for all the other ones. Probably what you're looking for. There might be a module that does that. It's one of those things I would expect that be able to just go in and do like a form alter or something to throw back in there. I don't know.
A very, I would say, it might seem kind of like a lame step to try, but this is something that I go through before I actually make a report. I'll try to exhaust all the user methods. Not necessarily edge cases, but some scenarios. One of them would be, right now you're seeing nothing gets shown when there's maybe just like one small, right? If you test that it's all the variations, right? But then you only one medium and it's still not showing, then you know that it's not a logic flaw within, the list available. So you want to maybe just try a couple little silly things like that, and then just kind of see how it responds, if at all. Also, of course, some of the other crazy things would be around making sure that you see it's not being hidden by CSS. So checking the source code, making sure the dropdown is actually parsing into the HTML. Okay, so you do see markup rendered, but maybe it doesn't display on the browser. So then that's more like a front end thing, like something's hiding it. JavaScript or CSS are obviously default like that. But if you're not seeing in the markup that select tag, for your options, anything like that, then you know it's something much deeper in the chain, much lower, which is part of the rendering chain, part of the theme. These would be the things. Are you using a theme that's a default theme or something custom?
It's a custom theme.
Okay, if it's a custom theme, right. Regardless, custom. Really, you're going to have to add it to make sure that you're rendering all elements out on the theme. So you're using Drupal render on all renderable items. Basically, you might be piecing out things individually to show here, pieces there, within your markup. But if you don't give Drupal its generic, let me render everything else that I'm supposed to, you might be missing out on something like that in the chain. Okay, in that render array or something like that. There's, that's where I would go. if you have multiple variations available, and you try to place the item in your checkout, it works. This is so
It's just all, so does it default to a size?
or you always have to pick a size.
No, you know what, actually, that's a good question. Even if it doesn't, let's say the menu doesn't show up, let's say you have the one small, it doesn't show up anymore. If you put that item in your cart, it will still show up in the cart as that size.
Right.
It's just the menu just disappears.
Right. So it just defaults to this way. Yeah. Yeah, I would check the markup, make sure that it is parsing into the HTML. Yeah, well, we know.
They're
Look, if you can find a business case for that, you've got it already packaged. You can sell it at 10 times out. But Todd, you mentioned that you would be willing to help look at it real quick, or I'll take it.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so Todd and I can definitely help with the rules at least, so look at it real quick. All right, next question. We have one on the right side, I think, over here. No? Then, we'll go out here, and then we'll do the thumbnail, and then anything left over. Yes.
Okay, so just, inside that building, I'm running a situation where number of entities and I need to store data. And I'm just, there's one part I'm creating my own table for, and then using direct people for, rather than using entity fields and all that. Okay. So I'm just curious about where do you draw the line? At what point does it make more sense to use sort of Drupal way of storing data versus your own?
So the question was, this is really a developer-oriented question. When you're building, when you're interfacing with custom data, custom tables, custom objects, right? Entities, yourself, not entities in Drupal. And you don't use the entity API and the field API to integrate with this database table. What are some of the best practices for doing that?
At what point would you want to start?
And then when does it become too expensive for you to want to adopt the Drupal API wholeheartedly, right? So you want to turn this off?
Yeah. Well, no, I was just going to say, I would ask the question the other way around. When should you not use Drupal API as opposed to when you should start using Drupal API? If you use Drupal, you have a general rule as applied to say within Drupal API and then create entities where you will start using it. There's benefits that come along with that. There's things that automatically work with things. A lot of those downloads and expect
get a lot for free.
You get a lot for free. I to break away from that. I think that's the real. I don't know. I was with what was the commerce business?
The commerce Kickstarter?
Yeah. Is that
No, it's just the commerce. It's just the software for you to build this one.
the car is like, not a
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
We can come right back to you right after, but the short answer is yes. It does everything. You just have to plug it to the other stuff. And we get it to your
I think that what Jeremy was saying there, I was trying to start with what's, with what we're doing with that, but almost always, it's an entity-based solution, because, we need to be able to integrate with the other aspects of Drupal. The only time I would ever go into something that's a pure SQL system would be something that's more of a, some crazy configuration or like something completely extendable that's not content. But for everything content-based, I typically will use, at least, from Drupal 7 on. Drupal 6, I did everything with SQL.
So what is this?
Yeah.
This is a school site that sometimes
Is it legacy data?
Some of the data is data that comes from another system.
But it's actually like content. It's not
Really? Yeah, I mean, it's content or content, some data is transactional data.
Okay.
Yeah.
The transactional data is maybe well, they still transaction get a lot of that relation or stuff along those lines.
Not saying it's only
Yeah, anything that's content-based, I mean, I really start at what is the, what's the actual top aspect of it? Yeah. Node. Is it a node? Does it need to be a node? If it doesn't need to be a node, if it doesn't tell that overhead, come down one level. What else can, if it's an entity, if it's one down from that, is it just a field? Do I just need a complex do with the field collection?
So my addition to that, real quick, before we get over there, would be, there was an old Drupal 6 module called Table Wizard, and this was a very easy, quick go-to to bring over legacy data, which it basically allowed non-Drupal like tables to live with Drupal tables, and you can query the views without having to use any of the work yourself. You basically, Table Wizard, you tell it the table, it helps understand the field, and then it actually will help create user reviews. This was actually done a long time ago by the guy at Curve. That got fully off with 18 off for Brush and stuff like that. But the data module, that was for D6. For D7 is the data module. There's probably something maybe a little bit more current, more contemporary. But I would suggest maybe reading what this kind of gives you, because if you're living with non-Drupal data and you're trying to kind of keep it together, you're going to want to use something like this just to do the dirty work for you, so you can do the actual real, make real progress, instead of sitting there trying to just query this table. Another idea, this is something that I've used before that not a lot of people know, Drupal can have more than one database in its database connection string array, and it doesn't have to be a Drupal database at all. So if you want to query over there, you can toggle what database talks to you based on what queries or where you need to go. So you can kind of keep that legacy data, you don't bring it into the same DB. I'm actually not a fan of doing that. What's absolutely necessary with that. I asked about it. Those are the whole points, but the core piece of your question about when is it expensive to not do it? When you're dealing with content, it was a no-brainer to just. I mean, there's even there was I forget the name escapes me right now. I'm trying to remember it later. But there's a GUI for the entity guide to help build your entity now. ECK. Oh my God.
Entity construction kit. Yes. It's basically, if you were familiar with Drupal 6, it has ECK, yeah. Precursor to the field.
Right. Without
that's ECK.
Right. So you help you build the entity. I mean, this is stuff like, if you're used to using maybe like the schema module, that these are development tools to help, get a lot of work done for using really good stuff and make your site unique.
Well, except there's got to be a point that on transactional data, you've got div tables, transactional data, and you feel that you're doing stuff that doesn't have to.
Well, yeah, you can start caching it. If you start running custom entity caches, where it brings the stuff together and makes it where you're using, and you go to more of an advanced caching structure using Redis or Mongo, then you can really scale that a lot better.
Cache based on the user, individual role, a piece of content itself, and other people's content. You can really break it down.
Depending on the complexity of your fields, I would also suggest looking at the multi-field module, which will basically let you structure all of the fields that you have into one table. So then you could have, if you wanted, you could have 100 columns with the data in there, and it's all available to views, all of that good stuff. Except now it's one field.
Is there a security concern where you want to keep your data out of? You want to keep the data separate somehow outside.
It depends on your need.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You've been trying to chime in on this.
If this data is live and updated someplace else, you may just want to build an API to access it.
Yeah,
rather than trying to directly get into their tables. Because if somebody else is doing it, they may change their structures, they may add fields, and now you're going to be real host with APIs. Or,
then you have an abstraction layer.
Yeah. It is low overhead, but it may save a lot of coding.
I mean, where I would personally start is start identifying what is content and what is not, and start moving that content into actual valuable constructs, so that you kind of break away from your dependence on pure SQL. When you, it's easy as a developer, especially starting in Drupal, to just start writing everything pure SQL and get it all in there and get it done. But it's really a whole part of using Drupal and using the whole point of using Drupal is to sort of embrace the APIs. A lot of that stuff is very well documented, especially the features module and everything. You bring all that stuff in and export it to code and keep it all very clean.
One final piece real quick that I wanted to add to this for the queries. Are you writing your SQL, literally the SQL string itself, or are you using the database engine, database API of Drupal to build a query out there? Yeah. Okay, wonderful. See, I just want to make sure that used to it, but yeah, I think now you're gonna not, be susceptible to a lot more, fun things that people will do.
And part of this too, you're talking about large joins and everything.
Drop off.
With entities, you've got the query that you can do, which goes through the caching and all that. So you have a lot of Drupal caching layers on top of it as well. So I mean, if you're worried about like huge joins, like highly normalized content, then yeah, throw a cache layer in front of that.
We literally have about 5 minutes that we can answer something. The commerce, we might not get to the thumbnail piece, but yeah, we can probably talk after. Your question is about the commerce kickstart?
Yeah, the commerce kickstart. If I wanted to, does it have recurring billing?
There is a feature, there is an add-on that helps you do the recurring billing, but it's actually more based on your credit card processing company, your payment gateway.
Yeah, because
they would have a recurring mechanism.
You need to know, that use Drupal, specifically with the return things that will be managed system, that if you ever internally,
You don't want to do that internally, you're running into all sorts of PCI problems.
Correct, that's right. PCI compliance.
You never want to really store the credit card data, which is what you would be required to do in
well,
order to do that recurring.
I have systems that actually, encrypt and code under,
You don't want to do that one.
Let your payment gateways deal with that.
Yeah, so what they'll give you is, if you're not familiar with this already, is they'll give you the payment token or customer token. Have you seen that in the payment gateway system?
Who is your payment gateway?
It allows, basically there's a feature, it's the store credit card feature on payment gateway. They will save the credit card, they'll encrypt it, and then they give you a special token that is unique for the person, the card, and you as a client. And that's basically what you build for. You will make the API call to the payment gateway, and you say, here's the long ugly string that no human can read ever. And then they go, oh yeah, that means so-and-so, this card, this billing address, boom. And then they basically will charge it, and you don't, they send you back some very basic info, which is a success, a fail, or a reason, you want the recurring billing, well, you can generate, you can have a report inside the Drupal, so you can work on that, or you list every invoice as paid, so you can track that. But you really do want your payment gateway, and that company, they spent millions of dollars already probably on securing themselves, doing the hard work, use the easy features that they're doing, and actually the commerce suite modules that everyone's building, they revolve around those features. Literally out of security and compliance.
Now, this is a simple question, but the access control would actually allow me to grant access also to the front end environment?
Depending on what you need, a section of the site.
Well, I need to register as a user, obviously.
Access permissions.
Yeah, I mean, you can get as granular as you want it, where in order for anybody to get past a login screen, everything is just a login screen until they log in, and then you have access control from role-based.
That's a big rabbit hole question.
Yeah, I mean, you could get really as granular as you want to get.
Commerce, the Kickstarter people and the commerce guys, the developers on it, they've actually done a ton of modules for a while. They're doing Module Monday. So the question that you had, I actually have a lot of, they've been covered in a lot of those videos already. The recurring billing fees, rules, making sure some of the rules there. So there's a lot of that we can actually help point to. Again, this is one of those big ones where the videos help answer after.
Yeah, this is probably a rabbit hole as well, but if you needed to store a social security number or something like that, how do you guys approach security?
I've done it. Yeah, there's an encryption module that's broken partially.
Okay.
So and I wrote a fix for it and put it up on the notes for the module.
You got
Yeah.
Okay.
So, let me ask you, I'm actually using SSL security to the code the data.
That's just for transmission between.
No. Actually, I'm using SSL encoding for encoding my actual credit card information locally. And then I store the keys, and I store the privacy and the privacy, externally. This is my case with the access to go ahead and listen to it.
There are certain levels of PCI compliance. If you have any kind of e-commerce site,
using no stored credit card numbers, you really going to the minimum PCI compliance is like a solid assessment to take 100 questions in detail. If you start storing credit cards, it becomes like hundreds of questions and then we not notified. It has to be
Externally offered.
right. It will cost you tens of thousands of dollars. And if you don't do it, and you're held liable, you're done. The other is done forever.
Just go back.
The other thing you have to remember is that you're encrypting those passwords. This is like beyond the PCI compliance aspect, more than the security aspect. If you're encoding that stuff before you store it onto the database, you still have to decode that in order to make it work, which means that you still have to have that key somewhere in order to make this work. Which means that you basically have a lock with a key next to it in order for all this stuff to happen. Because you have to be able to get the stuff, to get the credit card out of there, which means that it's an inherently insecure system. So that's all the stuff that they do for you. That's why I'm saying is that like you were saying, you spend tens of thousands of dollars just to make that like.
Well,
I'm
asking because the actual individuals that they live in the business have to
They're so cheap down to something. By the end of the week, the sales guy would have already started your application. You pay $250 if they have that up front. Honestly, you can go to PayPal, use PayPal Pro, and just
Or no, regular PayPal.
Well, you can do it, but if you want to do this one, yeah, so you can run your own, that's like a merchant.
Only
$27 a month, no startup fee, I think, maybe didn't know do it startup fee, rally.
It's too easy not to do it.
Exactly.
It's too, yeah, the barrier to entry is so high and it's so easy to just use a vendor, And if you just use the vendor, it's their liability.
Yeah, right.
Not yours.
And it's worth it. It's worth it. Yeah. We are pretty much out of time though. So if, for those that are interested, we're going to have networking right after this and some breakout groups. So what I'll do is I'll suggest one breakout group for beginners and one breakout group for commerce. Okay, because we're I think it makes sense. There's a commerce piece right there. And of course, we have meetings every month. Okay. So tonight, this was the agenda. Please link to our group page. Okay, we meet the second Tuesday of every month. We actually, what was it? Next month we might actually get a really cool demo on an update to the video platform system that Stalker, our venue sponsor here, is working on. Right? They've got a UX with the new Amazon Fire TV. It's pretty slick. So we will be able to show that off. Use the Drupal in the background. Does some video, does some publishing. Really cool, syndication system. So I think that'll be pretty exciting for us to watch next month and learn from. Thank you. Please stay lining up for the networking and breakout groups. Those that are that had the job announcements earlier, again, this is the perfect time for those that are interested for more information to link up today. I thank you very much. Drive home safe, and we'll see you next month. One final announcement for Orange County folks.
Is anybody here from Orange County? No?
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
For those that want to hang out after, when we close the doors, there is a Drupal after dark. We pull in the info.
Pumpkins!
Yeah. Yes. My concern is that if I start thinking or another requirement deciding like that, that at some point, also all of a sudden, it is asking us to change the city to a problem. How do I know what that means? It's not how. It's not how. See what I'm saying? So, kind of, it's attention on the background. But, I'll try.
I was going to have some just about to install Office Kickstarter. I know I'm missing something. It's just I haven't installed Drupal on anything in so long. I've just been doing stuff for myself. But it's been, I don't know, like a year since I installed it. I have set up the database, but I'm forgetting something. Yeah, it is. I was just about to install today. You got asked about it. Yeah.
For database support, usually it'll try to connect to
Oh, okay, all right. But communicating try to get because walk out the database. Have you already installed it? No, I tried to, and I got to that. Did you get the login tomorrow? Or is there an enabling login? No, never mind. All right.
Christo, sorry. Alright, yeah. Hey, so, you're working with, alright.
I'm not ready to go back. Pick me up when they hit me.
Okay, so you're saying that they're working with City?
No, I'm not. It's a lady. Yes. No. I'm taking this one out. I'm not a big fan of Drupal right now. I'll use it, but I'll use it when it's more stable. It's probably about a year from now.
I wasn't planning on it.
I think I get it. That's all I need.